Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start this lesson off by giving all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rakakudash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors to other brothers who are fervently preaching the word in sincerity and in faith. Shalom to the sincere Akwath, and Shalom to the scattered Israelites who are amongst these heathen nations and look like these heathens. Now, this lesson is going to be based on Genevieve, the season's first major Category 4 hurricane. So through the Spirit, I'm going to read this article and get some precepts and Lord's will be ratified. It says Hurricane Fausto is continuing its journey across the East Pacific towards the Hawaiian Islands after it peaked in intensity as a Category 2 storm. At the same time, Hurricane Genevieve has reached Category 4 status, becoming the season's first major hurricane as it barrels through the Pacific. As it heads toward Hawaii, Fausto is now slowly weakening as it's met with a hostile environment that makes tropical development much less likely. While Hawaii is technically in the forecast cone, the actual outlook is a bit more complicated. The Fox Forecast Center said cooler waters and intensely dry air will slowly weaken the storm as it inches closer to Hawaii. The latest forecast has Fausto downgrading to a tropical storm sometime late Monday or early Tuesday. This is very common when a storm weakens upon its approach to Hawaii. This is due to cooler waters east of the islands and an increase in wind shear. Forecasts continue to show Fausto tracking north of the Hawaiian Islands on Tuesday into Wednesday as a weakening tropical storm. Based on a wide range of computer models, the chance that Fausto takes a track farther south and remains a stronger storm is very low, according to the Fox Forecast Center. High surf is expected to arrive ahead of the expected weakening system's closest approach to Oahu and Kauai on Wednesday. Swells generated by Fausto are expected to build along east-facing shores starting Sunday, spreading across the islands through Tuesday. While residents across Hawaii will certainly notice Fausto's presence, current indications do not point to a major threat. And normally the primary hazard from east to west tropical systems is torrential mountain rainfall. The surrounding dry air should limit widespread flooding, though localized heavy downpours remain possible according to the Fox Forecast Center. Because this forecast is still a few days away, the exact impacts could change. However, if current tracks hold, residents should primarily prepare for high surf, gusty winds, and localized showers. Hurricane Genevieve was named on Saturday night, and it quickly intensified to a Category 4 storm by Sunday evening. This makes Genevieve the first major hurricane of the 2026 Eastern Pacific hurricane season, according to the Fox Forecast Center. The storm is moving into a region highly conducive to development due to low wind shear and warm waters. Not only is the surface water warm, but that warmth extends well below the surface, providing the storm with plenty of fuel. The combination of these three factors will allow the storm to quickly get its act together. Forecasts indicate that Genevieve will undergo one or more periods of rapid intensification through Sunday. Hurricane Genevieve is the first of this strength in the Pacific since Hurricane Kiko in September 2025. Fortunately, current forecasts indicate Hurricane Genevieve is expected to remain over the open eastern Pacific, posing no threat to land, including Hawaii. The National Hurricane Center is monitoring another system far to the southwest of Hawaii. The system has a high chance of development over the next 7 days. A tropical depression is likely to form as the system moves west-northwest into the western Pacific, the NHC said, with models indicating that the system will likely become a strong storm next week. Because it is expected to develop after reaching the western Pacific, future strengthening will result in it being classified as a typhoon instead of a hurricane, the Fox Forecast Center said. We're currently behind schedule in tropical activity in the East Pacific, with the average second hurricane forming by July 15th and the third forming by July 31st. Yeah, but either way, these are still the storms and tempests of the Lord. Isaiah 29:6, Thou shalt be visited of the Lord Yahweh of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire. And when you look up the definition of tempest, it means a violent windy storm such as hurricanes, tornadoes, typhoons, tropical storms. So once again, the scriptures reign true and prophecy is coming to pass. Isaiah 28:2, Behold, the Lord hath a mighty and strong one, which as a tempest of hail and a destroying storm, as a flood of mighty water shall cast down to the earth with the hand. And these typhoons, these tropical storms, tornadoes, hurricanes, we've seen many times in the past how destructive and deadly they can be. And now we just have to watch and see what the Lord does with the two that are currently building around Hawaii and those islands. Psalms 11:6, Upon the wicked he shall rain snares, fire and brimstone, and an horrible tempest. This shall be the portion of their cup. And like I said, we've seen how destructive hurricanes, typhoons, tornadoes, tropical storms can be. How destructive and deadly they can be. And those are some of the horrible tempests that the Lord unleashes upon these wicked people with whom he is daily angry with, and whom he will continue to be angry with. Psalms 83:14, As the fire burneth a wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. Verse 15, So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. And that's exactly what the Lord is doing. Because even though, they're trying to say that, it's not, it's not that serious. Like, obviously it's serious, but, people don't need to worry too much about it. People should still worry very much about it, because tropical storm, hurricane, typhoon, it makes no difference. At the end of the day, if the Lord decides to send it towards the mainland, those people are in a lot of trouble. So they should not be getting comfortable. They should still be taking heed and watching and, paying attention and, as best as they can, preparing for it. Even though ultimately, if the Lord decides to have it touch down, where people are, and he wants it to cause all kinds of destruction and kill people, there's nothing anybody can do to stop it. It's still a wise thing to, take heed and to prepare as, best as you can. Because listening to these forecasters, they can only tell you but so much. Ultimately, they're not the ones in control. The Heavenly Father is, and he decides how bad something is going to be. The forecasters could say, oh, it doesn't look like it's going to hit us that hard, but then the Lord could easily change that. That's why we always have to trust in the Lord and not in man, because it's not up to man how these things play out. And all of these hurricanes and other storms and tempests and fires and earthquakes, these are all just signs of the times, signs of the last days, and signs of the Lord's visitation to this world and to these wicked kingdoms and these wicked people. So for all you sincere brothers and sisters, just stay prayed up and stay circumspect and continue to watch, because things are only going to get more intense and dangerous and destructive and deadly and chaotic out here. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up here. Closing, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai Ba'Hashem Rakakwadash, the Wadi Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai, for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors to all the brothers who are fervently preaching the word in sincerity and in faith. Shalom to the sincere Akwath. Shalom to the scattered Israelites who are amongst these heathen nations and look like these heathens. I hope you all stay strong, stay safe, stay fervent, stay circumspect, stay prayed up. Adawan Ratazah. Till next time, Shalom.